Second up today will be Tori Kappas to speak to us about our ushers. The usher responsibility was previously something held only by the parish council, but has been since expanded. And Tori will speak to us today about the impact and the benefit of our usher ministry. Thank you, Tori.
Kalimera. As Father stated, he asked me to speak to you all today about the usher ministry. By way of introduction, my name is Victoria formally, but I go by Tori. I'm a current member of Parish Council. My husband, Angelo, and our daughter, Grace, who's in 8th grade. We've been members of this parish for over a decade now. And just a little background on myself, in case you didn't know, I did convert to Greek Orthodoxy back when Angelo and I were engaged in 2009. And I have to tell you all, the Tori of 2009 would never believe that she'd be standing in front of you all today talking about this special experience. You know, when I converted approximately 16 years ago, I was very nervous. I was very intimidated by this wonderful, tight-knit community. I was intimidated because I don't know the Greek language. I was intimidated by all of the amazing traditions that I really knew nothing about. And my blonde hair, I felt, made me stick out like a sore thumb. So, but despite that, you know, I was committed to raising our daughter and, you know, bringing my family into the church. But I was not well connected. I felt uncomfortable and nervous coming to church. Well, then we moved out to the suburbs, we joined St. Athanasios, and then the scariest thing happened to me. My husband was traveling for work, and I was faced with the prospect of attending Holy Week services by myself. I was very, very nervous about it. I had all these pep talks about, you know what to do, you know what to say, but I didn't know if I knew what to do or what to say. And so I walked into church with Grace. She was very little at the time, and I was breathing heavily and trying to just talk myself down. And then the parish council president at the time, Foti, smiled at me. And he greeted me by name. I was like, he knows my name? And he greeted my daughter by her name, and that meant so much to me. And then he not only smiled and said our names, he escorted me right up here to like the second pew on Holy Unction, which, as you all know, was amazing. So that was the day my comfort level in the church really began to change. After that, some members that are here today really reached out to me. Leah is one of them. I think Samantha, I don't know if she's here, and Anna and Helen. They brought me into Philiptikos. I started to make connections outside of obligatory ones, if that makes sense. I started to connect outside of my immediate family, and that was really, really amazing to me. But even though my comfort level grew within the church, I still felt like something was missing. I couldn't figure out what it was. You know, I had a great family, great friends, a career that I absolutely loved, and as they say, God works in mysterious ways. And last year I was presented with the opportunity to put my name in the ring for parish council. I knew my mother-in-law would be so excited about that, and I was too. And so when that became a reality, I thought, okay, this was that missing piece of the puzzle. But it really wasn't. It was a great opportunity, but what was the missing piece was becoming part of the usher ministry. When that was brought to me as well, I thought back to that Wednesday of Holy Unction, you know, the Wednesday where I didn't know if I could do it, and I thought maybe I could be that person to somebody else. You know, if you all have worked with me, you know I do the candles. I didn't do anything else. But I love to see everybody and greet you, and I hope maybe my smile is the first smile you've seen that day, or maybe the smile that you need, or perhaps, you know, I've greeted you when you've had a rough morning. And so I even have gotten to meet some prospective members. You know, I think that's really important. So if anything, I can say I hope I have the impact maybe that Foti had on me to somebody else. I don't have much else to say about it other than I think it's a wonderful way to give back to church in a really busy time of life, right? It's a great way to feel connected. I look forward to seeing you all as you come into church, but I encourage you to give our ministry a try. But regardless, I look forward to seeing you all in Sundays to come.
Thank you, Tori. It's beautiful to hear the impact that one smile can have in bringing someone into the church who has been a member of the church and bringing a new level of comfort and a new level of belonging. We pray again, as Tori said, if you would like to give this ministry a try, if you want to share that warmth, or if you just want to also grow your own network of relationships within the parish, the Usher ministry is a beautiful way to build and strengthen your ties within our community. And last, speaking